What's going on? It's Kelly Betts here in downtown Columbia. I am super stoked to be here in the studio with
XQZ, Young Bar Mitzvah Boy, Trappy Gilmore, 3D Mittens Gang, No Coast, most importantly.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me, man.
This is the last episode in the studio. Sadly, Cat closes like next week. This is it. You've been here since the beginning. Remember the time we almost died coming back from Kansas City in the middle of the night on the highway in the snow?
I absolutely remember that. We drove from Columbia to Kansas City for the Versus tournament, which was this freestyle tournament that they had in Kansas City. Deadbeat was in it, I think.
Ice Nine.
Oh, he did horribly.
Got booed off the stage.
That was a rough go for the man. I ended up coming in second, which that was actually the first freestyle tournament I ever did. So I was like super nervous, but I feel like the nice thing about that I've always enjoyed about going to a different city is that you can kind of have that element of surprise, especially if you look like someone that's not going to rap very well. You can kind of catch them off guard. I think that's what I was able to do that night.
If you really want it, you better be ready to submit it. I get up on that rhyme, I simply rock a minute. You want to hit some punches, I'ma let them go first. It's a rehearsed approach is done with my first verse.
Good? Hey, I just want to say this fucking dude is not fresh. Hey buddy, here's some advice. It's a freestyle contest. You came with nothing but written shit, I was just ripping it. That was from your album, that wasn't no fucking coincidence. So you better come and understand it. You're unattractive in that fucking bubble jacket, you fucking faggot. I don't see this kid at all. I bet this dick is small like that disco ball. So I don't hear this dude. I will fucking rip you off. I don't give a shit. We can go for minutes, y'all. So hold up, listen homie, here's some advice. Next time, don't approach me.
Massive, brutal snowstorm coming back. We had about 2 hours back to Columbia. I remember you telling me too that like car rides in general make you super nervous. So I felt horrible because it's like we were going like 30 miles per hour on I-70 with like trucks, on the verge of spinning out of control.
What role has your Judaism played into battling besides getting made fun of from it? Because I know we ended up in front of the Jewish fraternity that you were part of, battling there in front of it for the title, just on accident, just incidentally. That's where we ended up battling. And like, that's something for me that at the time, I'm not thinking about it. I'm not thinking about it being a big thing. But then looking back, I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy how that all worked out. And for me, like, I'm not actually a very religious person. I mean, I'm Jewish and, I appreciate the culture and everything, but I wouldn't consider myself religious. But, I was part of that fraternity and it was, a really good group of friends. I lived there and Stankowski Field where that event was right outside the house. So I had a major home crowd advantage that I, hadn't really experienced. It was kind of wild how that turned out.
If there was a really hard ghetto with a hick town just south of that, next to a sci-fi convention across from a nuclear power plant, and in the middle was a clinic that does paternity tests, this dude's the combination of all the different sperm they collect. 3-2 goes to XQZ.
There obviously aren't many Jewish people in battle rap, so it was just another unique angle to approach things with, both from what I would get from my opponents and then what I would give back to them. It led us to what's still my most viewed battle, which was to my knowledge, the only Jew-on-Jew rap battle, me versus Wise Guy, around that same time.
Let the games begin. I know you play to win. Picture Steve huddled up with all his crazy friends. Everybody yelling as they wave their hands with $3 in the pot as the dreidel spin.
Fran had this faggot bodied in 3 rounds quick. It was so painful to see, I was just watching it like, ouch, wits. got some mad racist shit. I'll show up on Passover, shit on your fam Seder dish, and lamb shank your ribs. If I was surgeon, I would have never let this fag take the win. Said you back him down, you couldn't jab straight. This cat's paper thin. Since September, I've had traps laid at Cafe Berlin. I will have phrases, frat haze, and gas chamber him. Since you won't need his ticket, I fly back straight to your wax safe for dem, castrate your friend, and lock you in the exact same black basement Anne Frank was in. Let's go.
We share something which is a maybe unhealthy obsession with and love for cage kennels.
I've always been more than anything else interested in storylines. Like in the music I listen to and the battles I watch, I want a backstory. I want it to feel like a movie. His whole backstory is like one of probably the craziest of like any rapper I know about. His, I won't do his whole biography right now, but like I was always just so interested knowing what he had went through to like this was the product. I'm like, holy shit, like how did he get there?
I take some uber dramatic tragic shit from my life and splash it in song kids but later addicts. Pen clicks with a new chemical to try. I'm built to spill or fly, just to kill or die. Sensitive birth, so I speak explicit at dog fights high like Grandad over the Pacific. Put cigarettes out of my arm to disrupt the calm. I gotta check the blunt 3 times when I puff with dusted thongs.
I'm trying to have this whole like almost like this cohesive arc that just like everything kind of ties together. It's not like piecing like random lines together. It's like there's a whole like these are verses, like these aren't just random punchlines. And everyone's got a different approach, but that's just kind of how I've always preferred to do it, and I think that's part of the reason.
I think that's a really human way to go about it, connecting what's happening in your life. Because I think we're thinking about that as fans anyway. We're thinking of everything in context, going like, well, where's he coming from? How did he get here?
That element of just wanting to know who these artists are when I listen to them. And like I think there's so many battlers who are incredible at just punching back to back, but it's like you could watch 10 of their battles and have no idea what their actual life is like. You just know that they're really good at writing wordplay. So it's like they're both important, but I'm like, that doesn't give you the full picture. The way I present myself and the way I deliver is like, not as maybe aggressive or like intense as a lot of battlers, but I feel like it's more of my genuine like personality that I'm putting into it and less of a kind of a character.
I won't hype up too much the fact that you doing music is so rare. I'll just say I'm really excited to watch you perform right now. If you're ready, let's set up and do it. All right, man. Thank you for having me.
Got a gold rush in the brain. Living like I got nobody to blame. Last time I left home, they were so fucking ashamed. Now I'm finna have them throw me a homecoming parade, huh? This is Steve, y'all like? Pockets on K. Like, we gon' be alright. 3-digit Uber black with the neon lights. Elevator only move after a key card swipe. Street smart type. And I just shed a little dead weight. 2019, I'm just in a different headspace. Everybody's got at least a few pigeons that spectate. And my success rate, I'm at the point even my friends hate. No shit. This whole script I could've ghost written. Acting different ever since the first road trip. 3D vision. Audience like a coke flick. 30 tabs open trying to get this SEO lit. But shit, I was faded through my undergrad. All a hot mess, but I'll probably tell you it wasn't bad. Probably got Elijah Craig chilling in the duffel bag. Probably got a Missouri Tiger on the luggage tag. Probably on the road to drop $100 for gas, to drop a 30 on a gas rapper just to make another splash. Keep up, cause I don't Instagram or tweet much. Talking to some cats that never knew me doesn't mean much, especially after half of them ignored me. He's at war became a tally on the score sheet. Getting love from veterans from Cali to the Northeast is probably cause I never had to ask them to support me. Traveling at warp speed, Shake told me dial it back. Crown and Jack down the hatch, med starting to counteract. I wanna take my girl on a nice dinner date, but she half naked saying I don't really like the sound of that damn. She trying to hook up in a desk chair with an ex there off in the corner giving both of us a death stare. That's fly shit. Shot the car cop after we bar hopped. Silver bullet, Long Island, large drops in the sheets next to whatever Greek letter helped me sleep better. Then I'm always goes for the alarm clock. Enough to make my heart stop. Wouldn't be a big deal with all them bucket list items that I'd have marked off. Go recollect 20% of my favorite memories. Out in Tootsie's Cabaret with a gang of Benjis. Hit the easy button on my life and I made it stress-free. 28 and looking younger than the day you met me. Living at the airport, now I need a travel agent. Haven't been stagnant for half a day since I graduated and walked away like it was so easy. Feeling like the old Yeezy. They all loved me till I spoke freely. The last 2 years and been a tad realer. Minutes pass in an instant, I'm in a different calendar. They won't do me like Ariana did to Mac Miller. I done seen their true colors without an Instagram filter, but I don't hate on much. Escaped all the chaos, they say, all just cause they day job sucks. Rock a fucking bomber jacket like a James Bond tuck. Shades on and keep the face hidden like crayon flux. Battle rap. If no coast blew up, I begin the aftermath. Walking out of the ashes like dad is back. Cause from DB to XLV to FFC, we started from that SOB. XQZ, big.